Hi guys, the new Deathwatch Codex supplement is out, and today I'm going to be running you through the top 3 Warlord traits in my opinion to make sure you're getting the most out of your Deathwatch army. If you want to get more of these cool videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you know every time I do one of these videos. Enjoy the following video, guys. So third on my list of Warlord traits, guys, is Paragon of their Chapter. This is a really cool Warlord trait because what it lets you do is select a Warlord trait from the Chapter Warlord traits in Codex Space Marines and give it to your Deathwatch Warlord. And I think that's really good because mainly it's used for the Ultramarines one, in my opinion. It's a really cool Warlord trait called Adept of the Codex, and what it lets you do is every time you spend a CP on a stratagem, you get to roll a dice, and on a 5+, the CP is refunded. Now, I think that's really cool, just because Deathwatch have got a lot of stratagems that are really, really good, and you're going to want to make maximum use of as many as you can, and between that Warlord trait regenning you up to 1 per battle round and then receiving an extra Warlord trait at the start of your command phase, I think you'll be able to go to possibly turn 4, maybe even 5 in some games, having some CPs in the bank so your opponent has to think about all the cool things that you could do. So it's mainly for that one, and I think that's a really cool Warlord trait. Second on my list of Warlord traits is Castellan of the Black Vault. I really like this Warlord trait. There's a list of 4 relics, and they are like Adamantine Mantle, Artificer Armor, Digital Weapons, and Mastercrafted Weapons. And what this Warlord trait lets you do is take one of those relics and put it on your Warlord, in addition to any other relics he might have. Now, the only reason this is second on my list is because you want to couple it with something else. So I have given my Watchmaster the Spear of the First Vigil because I think in Deathwatch you've got really high quality shooting, but the only thing you lack is like some good combat units, and I think he could be really good with the amount of elite infantry and cavalry and stuff like that and bikes in the game at the moment that are 3 wounds apiece. Him with a flat 3 spear in combat could be really good. So what I've done is I've given him that, and then I've used Castellan of the Black Vault to take Adamantine Mantle on the same guy. So it's a really cool Warlord trait because it lets one guy have 2 relics, and I don't think there's any other faction in the game at the moment that can take 2 relics on the same guy. So that's cool, and what Adamantine Mantle does is it gives him a 5+ save against any wounds he loses. So after he loses a wound, that's through his 2-up armor and his 4-up invuln. After he loses any wounds, you then roll a dice, and on a 5+ he doesn't lose those wounds. So it makes him super durable, as well as having the Spear of the First Vigil, which makes him super killy. So that Warlord trait can make a character really tough at the same time as making them really killy. And that's why that's my second pick. Now my number 1 pick is Optimized Priority. It's an Aura Warlord trait, and this is wicked because Deathwatch are not that quick at the moment. You'll have some kill teams in your list which will have Outriders in and stuff like that, no doubt, just because they're really fast and they can get to forward objectives for you. But Indomitor kill teams, I think, are the strongest kill teams in the Codex, but they move pretty slow, 5 inches a turn, I believe. They can, advance and shoot because they will have melters and all of that kind of stuff in their squads pretty much, because Eradicators are top dog in a Deathwatch army now that you can protect them with heavy intercessors. But because those units are slow, you won't be able to do as many secondaries as it first looks like you can do. And if your opponent hasn't bought many characters or vehicles, then you're going to struggle to do killy ones, so you need your own army to do some. And what this Warlord trait lets you do is friendly Deathwatch core and Deathwatch character units within 6 inches of this Warlord can make attacks with ranged weapons while doing an action without that action failing. That's really good. Imagine trying to raise banners on objectives. Most of the time you're like, oh, I'll raise a banner here and I'll raise a banner here. Now that's 700 points of my Deathwatch army, because the kill teams are roughly 340 to 350 points each. So if you raise 2 banners, for example, you'll be like, wow, that's 700 points of my army that can't shoot anymore just because I want 2 points. Well, with this Warlord trait, you can, and I think that's the perfect thing about it. Is you're gonna use units to do actions, and your opponent's gonna kind of forget that you can shoot while still doing actions, and that's a massive thing because they'll plan their turn accordingly, and then they'll depend on your army not being able to shoot as much as they think it will, and then bang, all of a sudden you're just going to do as much damage as you want while still doing actions. So that's why that is my #1 pick, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you again in the next one.